Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Tuesday in 8th Judicial District Court, two made plea bargains and were sentenced to prison. Nancy James, age 47, was sentenced to 10 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for failure to appear and for bail jumping. Her latest arrest was in October of this year. Ch.18, age 23, was sentenced to 5 years for burglary of a habitation. Hopkins County Judge Robert Newsom and Hopkins County Sheriff Louis Tatum are pleased that the local jail passed state standards following an inspection Tuesday. Late Tuesday afternoon, the inspector told the judge and sheriff that all was in order and that he was surprised to see the 3-year-old jail is not showing its age, considering the number of inmates that have been housed there. Sheriff Tatum said state standards cover more than just the facility, but also the paperwork that has to be precise. Tatum told KSST News that the inspector praised the work of jail leadership in maintaining the high standards found. Keeping the facility clean and maintenance of the building were also commended. Tatum said training jail staff is ongoing. He noted the Sandra Bland Act that is being instituted. Suicide training is the focus of the act and a segment of training locally. Tatum also noted that the new courtroom being built at the county law enforcement facility will be a benefit to the safety of inmates. Tatum stated local lawyers are delighted with the prospect of the new building. He's now waiting to see how District Judge Eddie Northcutt will want to use the facility.
The Blue Santa Drive is already underway, and there are ways that you can help. There's also ways that this drive helps those in the community. Sign-ups to receive Blue Santa gifts are going on at Can Help through December 7th. Let's find out more about Blue Santa from Shanna Martin, Amy Griggs, and Josh Schufelt.
For Can Help, our pieces, we act as kind of the clearinghouse. We take all the registrations for Blue Santa, and those are going on now all the way up until December 7th. Okay. And so if anybody needs assistance with Christmas, with the Christmas toys, we say, come up there and see us. And then what you need to sign up is you just need to be a Hopkins County resident, your identification, and we take several pieces of information, and we try to give people options because our goal is not to turn people away.
Sure.
So the kids' social security cards or their birth certificates, as well as you can either show proof of income, or if the kids or you guys are on, or if anybody's on state benefits, just bring like the award letter or their Medicaid or SNAP, which is food stamp information, something like that. And then the program runs from children ages from 1 to 16.
Okay. We put, once these families are beginning to sign up, and that goes through December 7th, what we can do as people who want to give to Blue Santa, the Blue Barrels, is that primarily how we help? How we give?
Yeah, if you want to donate before the actual day of Blue Santa, which this year is December 3rd and 4th, they have blue barrels throughout the businesses, super handies at the police department, sheriff's office, numerous places. You can always pick up a toy while you're at Walmart and throw it in the blue barrel, and they're emptied weekly.
Okay. Now, there's a large part played here by Lowe's every year. And when will that be?
There are actually where we're having it this year, and they will also be doing, I believe they're doing burgers and stuff like that like they did last year. Honestly, I don't know what else
Well, they're providing their parking lot for us. They are doing food. One of the big things, I don't have the picture with me, but they donated hundreds of toys last year.
Wow.
The employees at Lowe's did a really great job of getting together, buying toys. They had a break room full of toys, so they do a really good job of providing the toys, and they're always just very gracious to open their parking lot up. They've already had a fundraiser a couple of weeks ago, like on a Saturday, people up there shopping, they had some food available that you could buy, and the proceeds came to Blue Santa. So yes, Lowe's has, they're very gracious to open up their property to us.
Okay. And other industries too help in a large way by pooling employees who want to get together to help provide things like bicycles?
Yes.
How does that work here in our community?
Normally a company will get together and they'll have a pool, and they'll raise enough money and they'll go pick up the bicycles, or they'll give us the check to pick up the bicycles from Walmart. a lot of times Walmart will actually have bicycles pre-made because they know it's Blue Santa's coming, and you just go buy a bicycle pre-made and just drop it off. A lot of times, a lot of the employees will get together and come as a big group from different businesses around town.
So there's a measure of competition, do you think?
Yes, normally there is. Grocery supply will normally donate a large amount, and then they'll call out other businesses of the same sort. I know the tow truck companies do a lot of competition, and then just business of the same type. They'll call each other out and have a little donation war.
And all to the benefit of the Blue Santa campaign for Hopkins County and the families who receive this. Shanna, about how many will we probably have signed up? How many have already signed up?
So far, we have signed up close to 250. Usually the average can be anywhere from 800 to 1,000, kind of depending on the year and what the needs are of the community. But I would say the average is around 1,000.
Okay, and that is individuals such as each of the children.
That's
not families.
That's not families. That's
Okay.
children,
Okay.
right? I know we have about 400 numbers so far to be able to give out, and of course, if more need to be printed to given to the families, then we'll do that. But I would say about 1,000 is the average for the kids.
Okay. Well, this all acts as a well-oiled machine because it all leads up to Distribution Day, which that in itself is a well-oiled machine.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I don't know. I took it over this year. We'll see.
It will be fine. It will be great.
It takes scores of people to make this happen, in addition to other scores of people who are giving. And if the toys are not in the blue barrels, then this doesn't have nearly the same fun flavor for those who are working it.
Number-wise, the numbers that Shanna gave me last year, you think about like 400 families. Like last year, they did like 334 families. That was almost 800 kids. So if you give those kids 3 or 4 toys or whatever is donated, you're looking at almost 3,000 toys.
Wow.
So when people say, "Oh, I'll just drop a little something here, a little something there," it really makes a difference, because our goal this year is to provide more toys than we did last year. I mean, we always want to have a bigger goal, so we're looking at 4,000 or 5,000 toys. L3 is a good source too. I didn't realize that they also give toys. We will be going over on December 7th and picking up toys from them, and then also the Lions Club. This is their second year to commit to doing toys. So if you come to the Lions Club parade, December 7th, you can bring a toy, and the sheriff's office will be coming throughout the parade picking up toys. So that's another good resource.
And that's excellent. It just shows another way that our community really does fill every nick and cranny here to help where the help is needed. About the amount of toys needed. So, like you said, whatever store, and please do shop local. Please do use local merchants. I was at a shop last night that had an unusual array of old-fashioned toys on the shelf. You might not even know that store had such as that. And so look around and see the advantages of our different shops.
Definitely. And I know we were talking earlier that this year, if you can, really think about the older kids. It goes up to age 16, but when people buy toys, they always think about the toddlers and the younger kids. But and so the older kids may miss out on getting some really good stuff. And so we want people to think about that. Think about those preteens and the teenagers and some of the things that they might be interested in.
So can people give gift cards, and how does this go out to, how is it placed?
I think we try to stay away from gift cards.
Okay.
Mainly objects, toys, bicycles. For the older kids, we've had people donate the packages of cologne that you see, that's, the $5. They get a package of cologne, shampoo, just
makeup sets.
Random stuff,
Yeah.
makeup. Right, for the younger generation is just trying to stay with toys or donating money. And then what will happen is Amy here will go out shopping and spend that money.
That's right.
for the age groups that didn't get exactly a lot. So
And so you also have sources throughout the year where some of these toys and needs are purchased.
One of the great things years and years ago that Gina Pritchett and Tracy Ballard did was got us into the market. I actually went this summer and met with some shops there and was able to purchase. I tried to buy larger toys because that is something that people, I always say it's great to go and easy to, like Shanna said, to go and get a baby doll or something smaller. I tried to focus on larger toys for the older kids. One of the great things about all the money that we take in up until December goes towards next year. So everything that was taken in last year, I got to use this summer. So everything that I bought at market was at wholesale. So that was a great opportunity to more bang for your buck, I guess you would say.
Yeah, and how fun that is.
Yes, all those toys have been shipped to Grocery Supply. They are still very generous to house those there. The Monday after Thanksgiving, Lee and his crew will start moving those to the First Methodist Church and setting up tables, and we'll start putting those in age appropriate. Boy Scouts are coming the next day to put the boxes together, which Ocean Spray is donating. So we'll start the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. We'll start putting all the toys in the boxes from the applications that Shannon
So like
has
a
given
box
us.
for this child, a box for this child, and
Yes.
as the things come in, you sort of even them out.
Yes.
Usually each
age-appropriate.
family has their own
Own
box.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize behind the scenes what it takes to put everything together. But, Amy and her group of volunteers, they work countless hours to make sure that the kids get what they need. And so a lot of people don't realize, but it takes many, many people to make this program very successful each year. And I think Hopkins County does an amazing job at that.
It gives us a chance to feel like elves.
Yeah, actually,
Everybody
it
working
does.
together. Well, so if a family wants to donate a bicycle, they can do that. They can put a bike in there, and that's a big donation for individuals, but the companies seem like they're the ones who put the volume, because I know a lot of bicycles are given on distribution day.
Yes, we get a bunch of them.
I believe the most we've had is 150 bicycles, I think,
Wow.
1 year. I can't remember what year that was, but I think that's the most we've ever had. It's
Okay.
150. And now we've set that goal, we kind of try to shoot for it every year.
Sure.
So,
And so, Josh, you represent the law enforcement side of what Blue Santa does organizationally here.
yes, ma'am. Normally, I'm in charge of when CJ brings his brisket and they have the $5 sandwiches. We actually, law enforcement, will deliver those to you if you call the day of Blue Santa, and then an officer will deliver that to you, me or posse member or something like
Okay.
that. And I try to get everyone together so we have enough, because we send out probably 15 orders in a day, and that day, and then once the brisket's gone, then we're done.
What day will that be?
It'll be the day Blue Santa, 3rd and 4th of December.
Okay. December 3rd, 4th at Lowe's parking lot.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
What are the collection times? Is it 7 to?
So we did move the time this year. We're doing 7 to 7, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Last year it was 6 to 6, but we moved it a little bit further down because we've actually had, last year I was up there till 10 o'clock and people were still bringing donations in the last day.
So there's a drive-by area. You hand the toys that you've gotten out the window to someone who will receive them. They go into the pile. This can go on from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on December 3rd and 4th.
Yes.
But in the lunchtime hour is when the
yes,
sandwiches.
I believe we're going to start taking orders about 10:30, or maybe a little bit before. And there'll be a phone number on the Blue Santa Facebook page for them to call. And they just, if they're at work that day and they get a pool together, it's $5. They get a brisket sandwich done by CJ Duffy. They get a bottle of water, chip, and then a little Debbie snack of some sort. And we'll deliver it to you while you're at work, and we'll grab your donation.
Okay. It all works very well. A lot of moving parts, but it all works
Yes.
very well.
Yes.
And so, and Amy, you are new this year?
Well, I work at the county attorney's office,
Okay.
and for years and years, we have always, I'm giving out a secret. We've always secretly shopped for Blue Santa. One of the main things was, yes, we keep talking about the older kids. Like, we would get a call, and Gina would call me and be like, I need 20 toys for this age kids. And we would go up, get the money, and then go shop and get that stuff. So that part we've kind of done for years and years. But this year, I'm kind of coming out a little bit. I'm still in the background, though. I will still be in the gym, not out front. I do have several groups this year that are coming to help. Like you said, people just don't understand what it takes. We will be up at the Methodist Church for 2 weeks, almost every night for a few hours. I've got Dial Club is coming, Mother's Culture Club, Teen Court, several groups from the high school. I had people calling me this morning wanting to volunteer. There's a big group at distribution that has done it for years and years. I'm just kind of letting people that have done it for years just do their thing. The posse will be there. The police department will be doing their. Donnie Gaddis called me. He just wanted to make sure that I knew he was directing traffic. And I said, you do your thing. I don't want to get involved in that. But the same people that have done distribution, the Bruce Welch stands outside with the radio and radios into his wife, and Shanna's sitting there, and they get the numbers going. The First Baptist deacons are there praying over people, helping with traffic. So it's just, the good thing is the same people, those people are, distribution is, I'm just going to let that kind of work itself.
Okay. And Shanna Martin with Can Help.
Yes.
You always do help.
We try. And now one of the things I wanted to mention, because I know some people can't get into our offices from, 8 to 4:30 or 5. We are going to be open this Saturday from 10 to 1 there at Can Help at our office. And if people want to sign up at that time, definitely come in. And then the week that the sign-ups in, so the week of December 7th, we're going to stay open late as well. I don't know the exact date yet, but we just tell people to check out our Facebook page because we always put that information on there.
Okay. And does Can Help have something else going on?
We do. We have a coat drive going on, and I think probably this is the time that people are starting to feel that now with it freezing outside. But we have our 14th annual fall coat and blanket drive. And so we asked people, this is probably about the time that people have been digging out their coats, and I know I did yesterday, and I thought, I need a new coat, so I'm going to donate the one that I have. And so we asked if you would like to donate, a gently used or new coat or blanket to us. We have several locations for to drop off, like Shannon Oaks Church. You can drop off at us, First Baptist, so many different places out there, and those are going out to the community. And if anybody needs a coat or a blanket, come by and get it. We'll get you one.
Okay. Well, you guys keep up the good work.
Here's Don Julian with sports.
First in news, Carter Blood Care had a blood drive at Sulphur Springs High School in the auxiliary gym on Wednesday. One of the high school groups involved is FCCLA, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, and Debbie Stribling is an FCCLA sponsor.
Well, today we're having our annual blood drive in the fall here at Sulphur Springs High School. The Blue Blazes, FCCLA, and the Health Science Department are helping with the blood drive today. We host one in the fall and in the spring. Today we have 126 students that have signed up to give the whole blood draw, and then we also have about 26 students and teachers and staff that are giving the Alex through the Alex draw, which is where they take the blood and separate it out.
Those numbers, are those about what we have or bigger than that, or how's this compared to other years?
This year is a little bit bigger, and one thing that we did this year is we used to have this on the Friday before we got out for Thanksgiving, and because the Friday before Thanksgiving is such a busy day, we moved it to Wednesday, and I really think that has helped the numbers that we have.
They just are going through a process. How long does it take them from the time they walk in until they're walking back to class?
It usually takes about 30 minutes for a regular draw, and for the Alex draw, it takes about 45 minutes.
All right. And then I guess usually after a draw, do they kind of relax and maybe sweets and so on?
Yes, they do. They give them Gatorade or Powerade to drink, and they give them a snack to boost them back up. And then we have students that walk the students back to class after they have given.
Well, the Carter keeps coming, and we keep asking him, or somehow anyway. We've been together. It seemed like a lot of years.
A long time, and also we've added a drive in the fall, in the fall, right before we come back to school in August. And administration kind of heads that one up for us because it is a busy time for teachers as we're getting back into the groove of school.
Obviously, it's a good deal for them. And what benefits for a student? Just the learning that this is important for the rest of their life?
Yes, also learning it's important for the rest of their life, but also seniors that give twice during their senior year are eligible to receive a red cord, which they can wear at graduation.
So once again, looks like a big success here.
It is a big success today. I can't wait to see the end numbers.
In sports, the Wildcats football team faces a Frisco team that won a ball game last Friday that they had to win to get into the playoffs. It was their second straight win. Meanwhile, the Wildcats come in having lost 3 of their last 4 games. At his weekly media gathering Wednesday morning, Wildcats football coach Greg Owens talked about the Wildcats and the Raccoons.
I mean, it's kind of an old school throwback, just a little bit. Coach is he's not real flashy in a lot of stuff he does. I mean, it goes back to the old. Some of our old timers will like it. It's wing tee looking stuff. It's not a pure wing tee. It's just a version of it. And but they do a great job of. Whatever you want to call it, the sugar huddle, the muddle, whatever, the 3 yards from the ball, they right there, boom, they turn around, run to the ball, snap the ball, and here we go. So their blocking scheme, their rules offensively are set. Here we go. So we're going to try to mess with their rules just a little bit, but I know they've seen a bunch of that stuff. But it's about us just trying to get a stop on first down and getting them maybe some negative yardage and forcing them not to do something they want to do. But, you're going to get everything from a long trap to the counter to the buck sweep to just a toss. I mean, just all the stuff that comes off of the Buck series or the Wing T series stuff, and then they'll raise up and catch you sleeping, and they'll run a play action on you and throw it deep. And so, done a great job with all that. So their thing is really about, it's a sped up version of just running. I mean, instead of throwing the football, they're just speeding up, running the line of scrimmage, trying to catch you off guard, and really trying to wear you down. So defense has to do a great job of being set, alert, being on sides, and that was another deal the other night. Defensively, lack of focus the first series, and whatever they were doing up front, barking out calls or commands, and our guys were a little itchy and a little jumpy at some of that. So we got to make sure we settle in and don't get caught off guard with some of those. I know I would after seeing that. I would do that, and they've done it to some other guys. They did it in the Dennison tape. Dennison jumped several times. So they got something going on up front. We got to make sure we're prepared for it, and kids are just calm. But it's going to be a bloodbath inside there defensively against their guys, getting after those guys. So a lot of misdirection, a lot of pulling, a lot of stuff taking place, guys going different directions. And so we got to be ready. Got to make tackles.
Anybody really stand out on our offense coach for us? I saw they had a guy that's got 1,000 yards, and of course they had a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean, quarterbacks does a great job. Running backs do a great job. They're wing 5, 6, and 13 are their leading ball carriers, and so those guys all do a super job of getting in there. So, again, it goes back to scheme. I don't know athletically somebody just overwhelms me, but I mean they are all really good at what they do. They're patient runners. They wait. They know how to set up their blocks. I mean they've been doing this a long time. And so it's just a system. They just plug the next guy in, and I've been impressed with their patience and just their ball handling skills underneath. They'll do a lot of what we call jet sweep, but they're underneath center. He'll turn around, he'll hand it to him real quick, and there's a lot of that stuff. So guys have to read their keys, and they got to be set, and they got to be balanced, and they got to know what they're reading. If you don't, then they'll catch you off guard. They'll outflank you, and next thing you know, you're in trouble, and you're chasing them instead of trying to hit them face up.
Is it breakaway speed or type of?
I mean, it depends who they're playing. So I mean, I don't know. I can't tell that. I mean, I don't know if they got a guy that runs a 4.3 out there, but I mean, they got guys that are good athletes.
That fullback's a 1,000-yard man. He's I think they're 2 halfbacks. He said they were 350 to 400 guys, and he said they're the leading rushing team in the Metroplex in 5A or 6A.
Okay.
So that's what they hang their hat on. But like you say, when they throw, it's all play action, and they will really catch you napping.
And if they don't need to, they don't. So if they can run it down your throat, that's what they want to do. So, I mean, the fullback's the guy that touches it most of the time. So based on your numbers, he's getting the belly, he's getting the trap, he's getting the little short toss, he's all those things, and then they'll mix it up with misdirection and counter. The wing back's going to get he's going to get the quick motion going back. Or actually, he's going to get the counter going back the other way, and then the slot, he's going to get the jet sweep motion stuff. So, I mean, we've seen it a million times this week, but again, we can't simulate it like they simulate it and getting after it. But our kids have gotten a lot of looks at it, and that's kind of a positive thing. They don't. There's a lot of formations, but they don't just overwhelm you. I don't think with formations. I think our kids are grasping and understanding what we're seeing, and so we've gotten a ton of reps. Just showing stuff to them.
What about defense for them?
Defensively, I mean, they're pretty vanilla. I mean, they're kind of their philosophy appears to be, hey, we're going to bend but not break. We're going to kind of let you have stuff in front. We're going to back off you just a little bit. We'll see an even, we'll see an odd. I think we're going to see a little bit of both is what I feel like. I mean, we'll wait and see how they adjust. Everybody's adjusted just a little bit different. I think defense these days, it's almost whatever you got to get in to try to slow somebody down and whatever matchups you can create. So most everybody's defense is flexible, So I don't know. You can talk to offense. It's a 4-3. It's a 4-2-5. I mean, you can make it whatever you want it to look like. And so basically, I think they'll be in a 4 down. I think most of the time, but there are some packages. I think they'll jump in some 3 on us. And so we'll be ready for both. We've seen both all year.
The Frisco Raccoons head football coach is Vance Gibson. He's in his 14th year as Frisco head football coach. Before that, he was the head football coach at Howard Payne University in Brownwood. The Raccoons surprised the so-called experts this season by making the playoffs after an 0-10 season last year. The Raccoons also started out 0-2 this season, but once district play began, they won 6 and lost 2 to grab that number 2 spot in their district. They won a big showdown at Lucas Lovejoy last Friday, 48-45, to secure the playoff spot. If they had lost, they would not have made the playoffs. They run a variation of the wing T on offense. Coach Gibson said the team is the leading rushing team in the Metroplex, featuring both 5A and 6A schools. The Frisco offense features 1,000-yard gaining fullback Nick Stanton. The Wildcats basketball team went 2-0 on the young season as they won their home opener 76-57 over Rockwall Heath on Tuesday night. The Wildcats were led by Keyston Willis, Day-Day Hall, and Xavier Cork. After the game, I talked with Wildcats basketball coach Clark Cipolletta.
Yes, I was super proud of our guys. We really played extremely good basketball tonight, both offensively, defensively. We played as a team and got stops when needed. And Rockwall Heath is really good. They're really, really tough. And I thought our guys just made it really tough on them to score all night. They're one of the better shooting teams in the state of Texas. And, they went to the regional quarterfinals in 6A last year and brought a lot of those guys back. And, they can really play the game. And our guys just really bought into we're going to contest every shot and over time hopefully wear those guys down and make them miss. Look at me, hey, make them miss. Keep contesting hard. And we just did a really good job. Also, offensively, we played unselfish. We moved the basketball. Biggest thing is we're not turning over the ball. So when you're limiting your turnovers, you get that many more offensive possessions. So naturally, you're going to be able to just do more with that. So very proud of our guys.
Yeah, right at the end here, you've got LaModrick Johnson. I mean, he's a young player and barely, been on the court, and he's racing down most of the time in garbage time. You go for the basket. Yeah. He lobs over to Cork. Yes. He finds an open teammate.
He is, and the LaModrick is going to be special, and he's filling in and playing a role right now. In the future, he's going to be really good. But that's just the culture of our team that we've really sold here, and the kids have really bought into, just really putting the team first and being excited when they do stuff. It feels good when you do stuff, but when you help somebody else do something, it just brings a special magic to the team, and I think we do a really good job of that. So really proud of our guys.
Big time scoring. Keyston Willis had 28 tonight. So.
Always at the end of the game, it's crazy. I can never tell you who scores what, just because I just know we're playing the right way. He's an offensive threat, can really score at multiple levels, can shoot it, can drive it, gets to the free throw line. I think Day had 20, they told me earlier. He's just a man-child down there, and just a really tough guard. And Xavier just played huge minutes for us as well.
I had no idea.
How much better has he gotten? He's gotten
incredible.
so much better.
Yes.
And
just in 1 year.
Just in 1 year. And I thought really after the school year last year, he really made a switch in a mindset that I'm gonna go dominate, and it's really paid off because he looks special, and he has a chance to be, and he is the real deal. So.
Well, you've told us every time you reported on a game, Day Hall hit the offensive boards. We saw it again tonight. He's like Dennis Rodman. You just can't keep him off the board.
He really is. It's super special. I don't think people really value guys that just have a knack to read the basketball, because he's not the biggest and he's not the most athletic, but he understands angles and understands the physics of a ball being shot. And he beats you there, and he's just tough as nails. Without him, we would be in trouble. So, he does such a good job for us.
Yeah, just had a lot of heroes in this one. Now you get Rockwall. Here comes Samuel Williamson, a big-time recruit. Here, number 6 in Class 6A, a real big test for us next Monday night.
Yes, and I love games like that. That means I get to do a lot of work on my end to find out how to stop these guys. And that's why I love coaching at this level, because you're going to see guys like this every night. And that's why we're playing the people we're playing, just so that we can really because we know if we want to go compete for a state championship, you're going to have to go through people that have dudes like they do. So and we're really excited that they're coming here. We had a great crowd here tonight, and it's going to be a tough matchup for us. I don't know how we're going to guard them yet, but I got a week to figure it out. So we're just going to try to, once again, make it just as tough as possible all night for him to score a basket.
Both the Saltillo Lions and Lady Lions had basketball games on Tuesday. The Lions played a tough Martins Mill team and ended up on the short end of a 54-34 score. Well, actually, the Lions led after the first quarter 12-10, but couldn't hold on to that lead. The Lions were led by Matthew Gurley, who scored 12 points. Chris Bokhorst had 9. Andrew Redburn had 5. Ben Moore scored 4. And Dylan Beadle and Levi Hoover scored 2 points each. The Lions are 0-1 for the season. They play next at Queen City on Friday. The Lady Lions barely lost to a good Terrell team on the road, 52-50 on Tuesday. Coach Bill Giles noted that Terrell has already defeated Rockwall Heath and Wilmer Hutchins this year. The Lady Lions staged a comeback in the fourth quarter, outscoring Terrell 24-16, but came up just 2 points short. The Lady Lions were led by Anna Reeder with 13 points. Chandler Bain had 12 points. Maddie Smith and Brittany Peoples both scored 7 points. Jocelyn Ochoa had 6 points. Christina Wade 4 points. And Paisley Kastner scored 1 point. The Lady Lions are now 1-2. They play next in their own Saltillo tournament Thursday, facing Chisholm at 8 a.m. and then later Bullard at 7:15 p.m. And speaking of that tournament, the Saltillo ISD is hosting their Saltillo Varsity Girls Tournament Thursday through Saturday. There's a 10-team field, including the Saltillo Lady Lions, Chisholm, Clarksville, Campbell, McLeod, Prairieland, Dodge City, Quinlan Ford, Chess, and Bullard. Pool play will take place Thursday and Friday, and gold and silver bracket play will take place Saturday, depending on results of pool play.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.
I don't know if there was pressure. I don't know if it's a detriment or whatever. We qualify for the playoffs 3 weeks out. So, good or bad or whatever, that may have something to do with it. Is it a relaxed thing? Okay, we're in. This game doesn't really matter or not. I don't know what goes in their psyche. But I'm going to tell you, this week's been a great practice week. We met with them. Here it is. Everybody's 0-0. It's a fresh start. It's kind of like the beginning of the school year again. You're starting over. Here's your opportunity. And this is do or die. And so so we had a coaches meeting with them, and then we walked out of the room. They had a players meeting, And we've had 2 really good days of meetings. Of practice. Locked in and focused, and we're not jacking with their bull. It's just, hey, if you're not in, get out. I'm not playing. If you can't focus, then get out. So it's that kind of urgency to get this thing done. Get here, get your tail to treatment, be ready, get to practice on time, all those things. Your season drags on, a young mind just starts dragging and going through the motions a little bit. So I don't know, that could have been some of it. We qualified too early. There wasn't that urgency. The last year we got to win. Like playoffs starting 3 weeks out. You lose this one, you're done. So right now I think that urgency has hit them, and there's an energy about them. JV. We changed practices up just a little bit. We've been finishing about 5:30 the last 2 days, just because we're taking our JV guys and split them up, and they're giving scout looks on both ends. So we're running inside hole and the team and all that stuff at the same time, and there's not much downtime anymore. So they're just pure scout team guys right now, because we're not preparing for a JV game with those guys. So we changed practice. I think that's helped some, trying to get the legs back underneath them a little bit, but the focus has been good. So when you shave an hour off of practice, that's going to help focus time a little bit too. And so, and again, they're not really exotic on what they're doing. It's just our defensive guys really, my emphasis has really been watching the defensive guys and make sure we're all making adjustments and everybody's feeling comfortable with what they're seeing in as many reps as we can get them. So in the period, they've been getting a full team script during the period, seeing all the reps, walking through it and running it, walk through it and then run it. And then after school, the same stuff comes back again. And we just add more to it after school. And so I think they're seeing a lot of that stuff. They're taking video time. They're getting to see them running on video. So our kids have huddle. They can go home and watch video. So coaches have sent them huddle stuff, and just put yourself in that spot, read your key. What are you going to do?